Finally, we've seen scrimmages being played. After a long, long time, with this cold weather, we're seeing a scrimmage being played. And it's a really it's a scrimmage for me to reflect upon because after analyzing all the teams on paper on how the teams look like, I get to have you know a sense of how these actual teams form up when they're playing on the ground. In yesterday's scrimmage, we there were two scrimmages. Uh, I saw most of the elements of the Stallions team and the Thunder team. So today I'll talk about the Stallions and kind of have like an evaluation check on how they're doing. Is what they're doing currently right now is it are they going the right path or not? So I'll go with that, and then hopefully next video, maybe like a part two, you probably talk about Thunder. I'll talk about Thunder. So let's get on with the video. Well, these were the stats. The Thunder really had, sorry, the Stallions really had a really depressing two scrimmages yesterday. It was expected from what my analysis was about the Stallions team. The exact same thing showed up. Arjun was the main bowler for both these games. You're seeing Arjun scrimmage one, Arjun scrimmage two. He was the main bowler for his team. And both of these matches, you're seeing Araf with Arjun in the same team. I mean, 27 runs in 1 over is a lot. Each bowler has his bad day. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. But the captain really needs to be prepared for, situations like this where you might need another bowler just to come in and maybe support the bowler that's being damaged, which in this case is Arjun, the main bowler. We're not seeing RF doing that. It's not RF's fault either. He's not meant to be doing that. He's not built like a player to do that either. That's not his role. RF is not that person that puts the pressure in up front. He's that person that breaks the pressure, gets the wickets. So if you're seeing Arjun giving 27 runs in 1 over, 18 runs in 1 over in the first 2 to 3 overs in the game, where's the pressure then? You're not seeing any pressure being built. So I mean, what I just talked about from the Stallions video is the exact same thing that's showing right now. Another thing is Syme's batting. Interview with Dhruv, he said that he's going to score 50 runs each game. Has to be really conservative. Well, he just caught duck out. And the same thing I talked about in the Stallions video about what if Syme does not hit 50 runs? What if he only hits 20 runs? Well, you didn't even see 20 runs this game. You saw him get duck out. With the help of Rehan and with the help of the misfielding from Syme's opposition, you saw them scramble up to 72 runs. But if it weren't for the misfields and if it weren't for Rehan, there would have been 20 all out. Let's face it, there would have been 20 all out. If it was Syme, Araf, and Arjun as the main batters, they would have been 20 all out with the way Vedansh was bowling. Okay, Vedansh, Dhruv, I'll talk next video, but it's really going bad for the Stallions. And I mean, everything's going expected, unfortunately, from what I talked about in the analysis of Stallions, right? The main bowler is Arjun. If he gets damaged, there's no one to back him up. If Syme does not score runs, it's nothing's gonna work out. They're gonna fall 20 runs, fall to 20 runs. And well, obviously Arjun can't do anything anymore. And even if they bowl first, or even if they, defend the score, it's really going bad. Bowling first two, you saw a lot of aggression from the batsmen. You seeing a lot of aggressions from Dhruv, from Medanj, and they just didn't seem to care that, oh, this is Arjun. He's a really good bowler. They just went full on bashing him. So that's the mentality you're gonna see from each and every team in the tournament. And I don't think Stallions are prepared for this at all. They're really not. Well, right now they don't have a supporting bowler with for Arjun, but what can they do? Today's the 19th. tomorrow's the 20th. 20th is the last day for releasing a player from the Stallions team. If Simon wants to release a player, which I'm suggesting, highly suggesting him to, release a player, you get a power up. That power up can help you. Again, especially, I'm saying this again, especially when Simon's team is a make or break team. Is either a top two team or a bottom two team. That power up is the difference. Another reason too, Arif is probably the one of the most experienced players in the club. Sam is not the right captain for him. Sam, I feel like he leads. He gives a structure to youngsters more. Especially when you saw that same thing happening with Deepish. Sam gave him structure. He performed well. But he can't do the same thing with RF because I mean RF already got his mind of own. He knows where to bowl it. He knows what to do. He's got almost the same experience as Symes does. So he just wants to go probably have a little bit of stability, a little bit of flexibility. A bowler that's bowling consistently right now, maybe be released, go into a team, be probably express himself because he's not having good games either. Simon's probably fall into stress either for this to happen because Arif's not performing, Arjun's not performing. He himself is starting to kneel down a little bit too. I think the best decision for Simon probably to do right now is to release Arif, get a power up, and get another player. I mean, from the series, you got a lot of confidence. I mean, talking from in about Simon, he got a lot of confidence as a captain. But the tournament is a complete different thing. It's quick pace. You lose two games on trot, you're done, and you want a power up to save you from that. That's the whole point of power ups. So if I mean, right now, uh, it's looking as if this is equivalent. Simon's decision making is equivalent to Deepish saying he's in his prime. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense, right? You're seeing this clearly happening on the ground. Arjun's not performing well. Arf is not backing Arjun up. Sam is decreased. Like this is what happens when Sam gets duck out. They're gonna 420 runs in 4 overs. It's horrific to see. It's really bad to see. So I mean, if Sam does not take the call of releasing Araf, two things. That says two things. He does not care about this tournament. Number one. Number two, he's really, really confident in a way that he's showing overconfidence, right? I mean, I'm literally foreshadowing them seeing losing against the Trailblazers when Trailblazers have a power up. That's the situation they're in right now, currently. From this evaluation, from this scrimmage, from these two scrimmages, they're in that position. I won't be surprised if they give this exact same performance without Rayhan this time because they don't have a power up. Without Rayhan, without any other player, just Arjun, Saim, and Arif. Arjun giving almost half the runs in scrimmage one, the third of the runs in scrimmage one. What if he gets the same performance again and Arif can't back him up and Saim does not do well in his batting? I mean Saim's job in the club is a captain. You're expected to win. He's picking his own opponents. He's handpicking his own opponents. And if he does bad, even in that too, there's really nothing else to say. I mean, I really don't know what to say because you took the things in your own hands and it's not going well right now. Now, what would happen if RF does get released? RF does get released, Ashit's there. And I want to talk about Ashit next video, the Thunder video. I don't want to talk to him about him right now. But a quick highlights are about him. Right arm off spin bowler, can bat a lot. He has a potential to be that tail ender, to be that person that saves them from this type of collapses, and that a player that can probably even open with sign. When they have situations when they have that one part but they don't want to use it, go ahead and let Ashit open. Let him He's fresh minded. I mean, he's just young, right? That he has nothing to lose. And Simon knows exactly what to do with our shit. Exact same thing that he did with Deepish. Give him structure. When you give him structure, it's going to be good. It's really going to be good for our shit. And he might be the future of the club as well. It's good. And in Simon's hands, I mean, that's really in Simon's hands. Now let's say some other team, the Thunder take our shit. Arf comes back to your team. Nothing really happens, nothing really changes. You don't lose anything. Matter of fact, either it's a gain or you're the same team. So I mean, if today's the 19th again, tomorrow's the 20th. If Sam does not take the call by tomorrow for releasing RF, it's gonna be two things. Again, Sam's mentality is that he's going to be like he doesn't care about this tournament because that's how it's looking right now. Because straight away, it's getting your own kitchen knife and just stabbing yourself. It's that bad. It's really that bad because you have the tools in your hands and you're not taking that decision. So he really does not care about this tournament, or is really just super confident and he still has that excitement, that confidence that's carrying with him with the from the series. It's not looking as if it's like that either. He shouldn't be confident. He really shouldn't be confident. I would expect him, hopefully, to probably sitting at home and thinking maybe should I be releasing RF, maybe getting another player. As a 5 minutes something to think about. If he doesn't really think about it, I mean, it doesn't affect me. It benefits other opponent. It benefits his opponents that he handpicked. So it's just going to be a bad name for him at the end of the day. So it's all up to Sime. Release him. It's a win-win. Don't release him. It doesn't matter. And another perspective that might help Sime, hopefully, is that there is a Thunder team that is looking for a role just like Araf's. And now you got two roles just like Araf. A fresh one, Ashrit, and then experienced one, Araf. If Araf supposedly goes into the Thunder, you have a power up, you get Ashrit. It's a win-win for both teams. It's a win-win for both teams, which is like a match made in heaven. You're literally seeing both teams having a benefit of really of because Sam released Araf. Hopefully that happens. If it doesn't, like in two reasons. Sam's really overconfident or really doesn't care about this tournament. So next video, I'll talk about the Thunder. It's a lot of good things to talk